Why Don't You Just Die focuses on Andrei, a detective and the world's most horrible father, who brings together a terrible group of people in his apartment. His resentful actress daughter, an angry thug, and a cheated cop. Each one of them has a reason to want revenge. This is a Russian dark comedy that marks the feature debut of writer-director Kirill Sokolov that I only fairly saw recently, but it was released on VOD towards the beginning of 2020. Had I watched it before I put together my overlooked movies of 2020 list, this would have easily made the cut, as I saw very few people talk about this one. But when I say this movie's dark, I mean it, as a lot of things seen here are incredibly messed up, but with nearly all of it being played for laughs. It's incredibly violent and extremely bloody, but I will say, it goes all in and makes it so ridiculous that you'll be a mix of shocked and amused. I'd say the film is a cross between Reservoir Dogs and The Evil Dead. All of the action in the present takes place in one apartment, with characters trying to figure out one another's true motivations for being there. Meanwhile, in between those scenes, it would be divided up into 3 chapters of extended flashback sequences, where we get a little history on who some of these characters are and what led them to this moment. The scenes in the present would be where it's at its most violent and gory, and these scenes are also the most extremely energetic parts of the film. Most of the action would be accompanied by a very lively soundtrack filled with high-speed rock tunes that feels like a shot of adrenaline being pumped in. And from the very first moment, where one character is standing outside the apartment with a hammer in hand trying to hype himself up, you know this is going to be a hell of a ride. And for an action thriller, the film is surprisingly pretty character-based. Though I'd say I enjoyed more of the present-day sequences than I did the flashback sequences. Not that they were bad or poorly done, they are definitely paced slightly slower, but it's not exactly a strike against the movie as it's not too jarring. I just think that in giving us a little more insight into who some of these people are, it mostly just reinforces for how truly terrible they can be. The film is more of a case of bad people versus worse people, rather than good versus bad. Normally I take a bit of an issue with that, but in this case it still works. Given the tone the film was going for, and how it doesn't take itself too seriously for the most part, it makes the experience a lot of fun, and you're excited to see how events would unfold, even if you don't exactly find most of the people involved to be all that sympathetic. The film also does a good job at psyching you out a number of times. It doesn't involve any sort of implausible plot twists, but it does a good job of leading you on for a moment before doing a total 180, with characters repeatedly getting the upper hand over one another when you least expect it. I found it to be incredibly thrilling and mostly really fast-paced. It's also shot well, with a lot of stylish visuals and a vibrant color palette. Despite some of the harsher subject matter it covers and its fairly dark title, I'd say it's a lot more accessible than you think it would be. If you're in the mood for a fun comedic thriller, this is definitely worth a watch. Why Don't You Just Die gets an 8 out of 10. So let me know, did you see Why Don't You Just Die, or are you planning to see it, and what were your thoughts? Did you find it funny? Did you enjoy the story? And what's a good dark comedy that you've seen lately? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it, and for more movie reviews and film discussion, please make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay updated. Thanks for watching everyone, and I'll catch you next time.